Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm Seamus McGran. I'm the promotions director here at the Hampton History Museum, and I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. I know this is extremely busy time with family and friends coming into town and everything going on all around the city and beyond, but this is a very special event for the Hampton History Museum, and we're really very blessed to have Msesippi behind making this happen every year for us. This is the 6th year, and talented musician and artist, but she can really pull talent together with a theme and just bring more mirth and merriment in one evening than anyone deserves. But you all do, I don't. But did also want to thank you all. I know that we have some friends renewing their membership here tonight, and we have other members that I see here that are in attendance for our events. And do want to encourage you that if you are not a member of the Hampton History Museum, to please become a member. There's lots of different membership levels and something that will suit your very needs, whether it's individual, student, couple, family, grandparents that want to bring your children and grandchildren here. We've got that for you. And you also get a discount in the gift shop, which is another thing I want you all to check out, because not only do we have a great selection of books on regional history, biography, autobiography, and other interests, but there's jewelry, housewares, things for the entire family, very Hampton-centric things that you might not find anywhere else. But also want to thank our staff for being here tonight and for making things happen. We, as often is the case with this event, the gremlins are in the works, and we're having some internet difficulties. But this show will be broadcast on Facebook Live, and it'll later show itself on YouTube and in the Facebook Live recordings. And so you can share it on your Facebook page, share it hither and yon, and show your friends and family near and far around the world, wherever they may be, how we celebrate the holidays in Hampton. Also want to thank the folks from the Hampton Fire for coming out and bringing the truck and showing you what they can do and what they do to keep us safe all year long. But I know particularly during the holidays, it's always, issues with bringing in trees and decorations and the things that happen to both of those because of cats. But we shan't not speak of that. But really want to encourage you all to come back if you haven't been to the Hampton History Museum much before. Our next concert is going to be March 13th, I believe. And it's going to be a celebration of St. Patrick's Day with Poison Dwarf, which is another thing we do each and every year. And for you, if Seamus McGran can say, the finest Celtic band in the area. Without any further ado, I'm going to disappear and let the magic commence. Thank you very much.
Dear friends and future peace ambassadors, welcome to the Great Room of the Hampton History Museum. Your training begins immediately. We hope this message finds you in the best of spirits as we approach the joyous holiday season. And as the year comes to a close, it is a time for reflection, gratitude, and spreading goodwill. That's why we're here today, and we are delighted to extend a personal invitation to you for a unique event that aims to make a positive difference in the community and universe. Please welcome our friends Thru with Therapy, Troy Breslow, Katie Teardrop, Matt Thomas, Mike Holtzclaw, Glenn Woodall, Dan Kennedy, Dwight Easter, and Msesippi from Tornado Bait, as well as the Bagheads. Jim said he couldn't make it tonight, but he sends his best wishes. During this event, You will have the opportunity to engage in various activities that promote peace, love, and understanding, from musical performances to thought-provoking discussion, and we aim to create a truly immersive experience that leaves a lasting effect on the hearts and minds of all attendees. Now, to ensure the success of this mission, please go into your packet and get that name tag that says Max Peck. Max Peck was the code name for astronauts checking into their hotels during the Apollo 8 mission. By wearing this tag, they will know that you are part of the future Peace Ambassadors team tonight. This symbolic gesture represents the unity and equality we seek to foster amongst all individuals, regardless of their background or origins. So by embracing this shared identity, we will demonstrate our commitment to breaking down barriers and promoting a sense of togetherness. With warm regards to all of you on the good earth, Msesippi and the Tornado Bait Bagheads. I'm gonna need some help there. Whoa, that's a lot of G-forces, let me tell you. So my name is Msesippi, and tonight we're celebrating space. You may have noticed in the back we've got some mission packets, because y'all are all peace ambassadors tonight. I've kind of handed them out to get you started. They have name tags, and they tell you a little bit about it. In the meantime, let me introduce my friend and my co-host, Mike Holtzclaw. You want to come to the side or the front? I have no idea. I like to pack the place. You know how that goes. Woo! Well, hi, Mike. Thanks for being here.
How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing well. Blessed to be stressed. But hey, we're going to work on that tonight. So you may look around and ask yourself, what does space have to do with the holidays? A lot. Because in 1968, NASA set forth to put a great goal for the common good of us together. We decided to send 3 men to go around the moon 10 times. And when they got there, they didn't just discover the moon. They discovered themselves in their home again. Earthrise, one of the most famous photos ever. They looked back at the Earth, and they really thought about everyone and stood in solidarity when they read the first 10 books of Genesis, respecting the Christians, the Muslims, the Jewish people, everyone, and in a time of turmoil. So if they could do that then, I know that we can do that today. That's our goal. Please look back and discover yourself and share each other and your holiday traditions with one another. Mike, what do you have to add to that?
Well, first off, I chose this shirt tonight because this is what the Earth looked like to the astronauts, except Snoopy was not on top of it. But the 3 astronauts, Jim Lovell, who was later played by Tom Hanks in a movie, he's the guy who said, "Houston, we have a problem." William Anders and Frank Borman. Frank Borman just passed last month. But Jim Lovell and William Anders are still alive. They're in their 90s. 55 years ago today, they were orbiting the moon. How amazing is that? And I was telling you before the show, I think we've lost that sense of wonder over the years, that in 1969, when we landed people on the moon and then brought them back, it was this amazing thing. And just a few minutes ago, it's a beautiful, clear night. And just a few minutes ago, I stood out there and I looked up at that moon. And to this day, I look up at that moon in the night sky and I think, people walked up there. We sent people up there and they walked on the moon and we brought them back. And it's incredible. And people have kind of lost that sense of wonder. They just kind of say, yeah, we landed on the moon, isn't that great? And so I hope when you go home tonight, look at the moon and think about that we sent someone up there and brought them back safely. And it started here in Hampton. Hampton, Virginia is the birthplace of the U.S. space program. And that's an amazing thing. And to start the night, we want to bring up a friend to talk a little bit about that history. Glenn Woodall, a good friend, and I first knew him because he's an amazing photographer. And so I would see his photos of local musicians and just be blown away. And then I got to know him and talk to him, and I realized what a very, very smart interesting guy he was. And it turns out, yes, he worked at NASA Langley for more than 30 years. And he's going to share some memories with us about NASA Langley and the astronauts and their roles here in Hampton, Virginia. So I'm going to turn it over to Glenn.
Thank you for coming, Glenn. Glenn's going to tell us about how all this works.
Well, you already told about half of what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You'll tell it better. You'll tell
You're
it
going to
better.
tell it better.
Okay. First of all, I want to say hey to all my buddies on the stage. Yeah, just a little bit of background. First, I'll ask the question: who was born in 1955? Okay, so you probably know that you were born the year of Apollo 8, and so the significance of Apollo 8 is that my information is that it was a year ago tomorrow that it was launched, and it took the 21st, right?
You're correct. It's
Yeah.
this week.
Yep, this week. It was the first crewed spacecraft in the world to ever leave Earth orbit. And it took 68 hours of flying greater than 20,000 miles an hour to get to the lunar orbit. On board, as you mentioned, were William Anders, James Lovell, and Frank Borman. And it's interesting that only 6 months later, there were 2 more flights, but 6 months later, Apollo 11 was launched, which landed the first man on the moon. So that was a lot of progress, amazing progress back in those days. So I was born in '61, and I do remember the first man on the moon landing. My sister and I, we were sitting had a mattress on the floor. We were watching on television. It was a huge deal back then, unlike the space program is these days. But what's kind of significant was when I was a kid, I wanted to be a scientist. And after high school, I ended up at ODU in the chemistry program. And then I found out about the NASA apprentice program. I didn't know they had one. I immediately left ODU and went right to NASA, and I was there for 32 years. But almost anybody here, if you're from this area, you probably know quite a few people that have worked here at NASA Langley. So my sister also worked at NASA Langley for a short period, as did my father. My uncle, actually 2 of my uncles, and my grandfather were actually career employees there. So I grew up in a NASA family. And a little trivial truth, my first name is Glenn, with 2 N's, just like John Glenn. My middle name is Alan, and I was named after the astronauts. It's kind of cool. So I do consider the astronauts heroes because they were brave, just like the early explorers across the oceans and not knowing if they would come back or not. That's bravery right there. There were a lot of hazards. You know, the movie Apollo 13 is a great movie. It's extremely accurate. There are a lot of challenges, and of course, in manned spaceflight, but any kind of high-risk experimentation, there are risks. But in this one, of course, it was human life at risk. And as we know, during the Mercury 7, there was a tragic accident where we lost 3 astronauts on the pad. So these all are heroes. One thing my grandfather told me was kind of interesting. Even though these were international heroes, they were hometown folks. They actually, most of the, even up and through the later Apollo 11, the Mercury 7, most of the early pioneers lived right here in the Hampton Roads area. You probably heard of the Gus Grissom Library in Newport News. I have a short list here. There's 7 bridges in Hampton named after the astronauts. I've only discovered 2 of them, and I crossed one this morning. That's the Elmore and Cooper Bridge on Queen Street, and then the Walter Schirra Bridge on Aberdeen Road. There were streets that were named after early Apollo and space pioneers. Mercury Boulevard, Commander Shepard Boulevard, Neil Armstrong Parkway, Apollo Way, and Apollo Drive, both in Hampton. I'm not even sure where those are. We got Grissom Way in Newport News, and of course the Grissom Library in Newport News. That's about all I want to say. Oh yeah, the thing my grandfather used to mention, he worked there many, many years ago, and he said he remembered John Glenn, Alan Shepard. He rolled off a whole bunch of names of the Mercury 7 and the early Apollo pioneers. He said they were just regular guys. You go to work and they're jogging down the sidewalk. You see them in the cafeteria. So they were heroes, but they were just regular folks too. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Glenn Woodall. And I tell you what, we're getting ready to put on Thru with Therapy. They're going to show us how they celebrate the holidays. And come on, future peace ambassadors, because this is what we're doing now. This is what we're going to do when we leave here. We're going to take it with us. So without further ado.
One, two, three. What we got now? This is a Ramblin' Jake song. This is Ramblin' Jake over here to highlight.
Like a shovel tonight.
Yeah. You wrote this song all by yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd like to say I wrote it in December.
Okay. No help from artificial intelligence or anything like that, right?
Do we have a fiddle in the sound?
Okay.
Okay.
This is called How to Get to Life. to all of them. So we all get finished taking our sips here. For our next song, check 1, 2, 3. Thank you much. This is our hit record. It went zinc over in Illinois, I believe. This is a collaboration. Chris and I wrote this together, sort of. Kind of sort of in a way, depending on how you look at it. This is called The Crooked River. Yeah.
Let's come on, and walk all happy.
As I mentioned before, the name of the band is Thru Therapy. That's the name of this next song. It's kind of a chicken and the egg thing. Did we take the name from the song, or did the band write the song? I'm so confused. Thru Therapy. Down to my I see some baggy cases out here. Yeah, you got, what's the name on top of that? I think it says Ray. It actually says Ray on top. No, I'm not sure. It's something else. I'm not sure. I don't know. Okay, we just learned this. This song is called Game of Chance, and I don't know how well you can understand the lyrics with all the noise and everything going on. It doesn't make that big of a deal, not that big of a deal. But, you know, if you look at what we're doing to the environment, this and that and the other, you know, I mean, the lyrics might possibly make sense, kind of, sort of, in a way. I don't know. This is called Game of Chance. Should do a little later. the same. And everybody knows that we gotta beat them at their own game. So the answer is good and they won't change. Take the whole life Thank you. Well, it is that time of year.
Feel free to sing along.
Feel free to sing along. The chords are E minor, G, C, B7. So everybody sing along. E minor, G, C, B7.
E minor, G, C, B7.
What was it again?
How's everyone doing tonight? Did everybody have a good time? Ooh. So we have a good Hanukkah? Before Hanukkah, I weighed myself and I lost 20 pounds, and then the latkes happened. I barely fit into the suit tonight. I feel like Jewish Santa Claus or something. To him, but... I'm a brand new kind of father, one that I have never seen before. I've been raising a boy without his mother. Lucky for him, I've been on my own before. Well, I spent my with my sister and I learned hatred. Not just for each other, but our fellow man the same. But I still believe that there is another world waiting there for me. Yes, I still believe in everything I am and want to be. Well, my mother, she didn't have much to say about no one, but there was something wrong that she saw from misguided eyes. I learned how to be a good man from my father and a few other people that were happy to get me by. My father, he's made mistakes, hell, I've made plenty. And I hope my child can learn from the two of us. My grandmother, she was an angel and I still miss her. I think I saw her once on the street waiting for the bus. But I still believe that there is another world waiting there for me. Yes, I still believe in everything I am and want to be. It was in a Baptist daycare I found Jesus, and I brought him home and my mother lost her mind. I said they told me I was going to hell for being Jewish, 'cause I didn't believe in the gospel of Jesus Christ. But I still believe that there is an angel watching over me. Yes, I still believe in everything I am and want to be. Everyone doing okay? Anybody have any questions? All right. Trying to find which pocket I put my pick in. There we go. There's the one that disappeared too.
I found you some spirit.
Oh, thank you. You did find the right stocking. I got a song about that. It has R2D2 and stuff on it. I started the bidding at $50.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I mean, some water will be fine.
I'm not going to do that song yet, though. I'll do this one. So I heard we're going to space. Today I was parked at Wawa on Newport News and I saw a Space Force logo sticker on someone's car. I tried to apply, but they don't accept former Jedi Knights. Too political. Jedi, and I became a volunteer. Well, I joined the rebel causes back in October of last year. I've had my eye on Princess Leia. I wonder if she feels something for me, 'cause I used to be a Jedi. Swear down, Tatooine. Well, I used to be a Jedi, and it all went straight to hell. they put me out of work. And I'm stranded in Mos Eisley, just scrapping droids and digging in the dirt. Well, I never thought I'd make it off that island. Well, I never thought they'd ever set me free. They never knew I was a Jedi down in those camps on Tatooine. Well, I used to be a Jedi, now I'm trying to get back home. I'll be glad when this is over, so I can finally be alone. 'Cause I've never had much luck with Princess Leia. Guess the Force is with Han Solo more these days. And I used to be a Jedi, now it's time to go away. Well, I used to be a Jedi. Yeah, I used to be a Jedi. Well, I used to be a Jedi. This one's for the American Space Force. And for Axel. In Yosemite National Park, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Thanks a lot, y'all. One more? Yeah?
Peace ambassadors spoke.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what am I gonna do? Working on a new record, y'all. See a lot of familiar faces here. A little shameless self-promotion. We're currently doing something called the Roadrunner 5K, raising money for it. So, if you'd like to learn more about that, just talk to me after the show or send me a message on social media. So I guess I'm gonna do another new song of mine. What am I gonna do? I'll do this song because we're in Hampton. Does anybody remember Don Butcher, the Tuesday Night Choir? I was the last host of the Tuesday Night Choir open mic that lasted for 20 plus years here in Hampton, Virginia. Before COVID took it out. This song goes out to Dawn and the Tuesday Night Choir open mic. Who the hell wants to walk through downtown Hampton in the pouring rain? Nothing but overpriced chicken capri and a glass of cheap champagne. I've been all around this world and I've had burned in Indonesia, but the open road keeps calling out my name. Have you been around to see so many Super Bowl halftime shows, ignoring different world. It's another beach theme bar tonight, but we're all just feeling alright. Hanging with the Tuesday night choir. Oh, but this town's got me down again. Never gonna leave. Or am I just another local boy hanging on to the same old scene? It's another old bar tonight, but we're all just having real tight, playing with the Tuesday night choir. Oh, but this town's got me down again. Never gonna leave. Or am I just another local boy hanging on to the same old scene? Or am I just another local boy hanging on to the same old scene? All right, y'all, that's my time. Thank you so much.
Congratulations! You've completed the first half of your training. Way to go, Peace Ambassador! Don't forget, right now we'll be taking a 15-minute break to recover from G-forces and other things that happen since we've reached TLI together. Anyways, make sure to take the time to introduce yourself to other members of the community, make friends, and share holiday traditions with each other. We'll reconvene for the second half of our training and journey in 15 minutes. Jim, stop it! Turn the engines off, Jim. We're not ready to leave. Give the people a break, Jim.
Hey, well, can you tell them about the art and how they can get some of their holiday shopping done?
Well, first, it's always about the hot dogs, folks, first. So the hot dog tonight is the holiday dog, and I want you to imagine a crock pot cooked hot dog, delicious brown mustard and barbecue spread. We then top it with like a holiday relish. So you'll see the roasted red peppers and green relish to bring the holidays forward. And then like any good Southern gentleman, we've topped it with coleslaw.
You want to try it out?
So they are complimentary. I have a few in the old crock pot. Show of hands if you would like one. One, I see two. Okay, 3 hot dogs, and then you tell the others how good it is.
No, it is good.
They will not let me go home until all the hot dogs are sold.
I thought you meant me.
And not sold, we're actually getting hot. But the art that you've seen throughout the night, kind of scrolling through the video monitors, is something that I did with this Msesippi and this charity event. No. For this
The
event.
Hampton History Museum is a 501(c), if I'm not mistaken, but this is a Peace Ambassador space mission right now, and all proceeds benefit the Hampton History Museum.
Excellent. I do all this artwork on my iPhone, so if there's anything that you'd like to see, I can certainly get it printed for you. As a matter of fact, I've made it easy. I have a table in the back with prints available. You can get a print for $10. You could get it framed and ready to hang in that hard-to-find gift for that uncle or aunt. Already framed for the reasonable price of $25 American. And also, we have a selection of stickers back there, and they are always free. So thanks again for letting us be a part of this great event.
That's right.
It's not just an experience, it's a royal experience. 5 golden rings.
I feel like a
couple
queen.
birds. You get the whole set. Santa works the 3rd shift right here. Who's that? Norfolk drumline, 12 drummers drumming. Okay, and how's that hot dog?
It's delicious. I tell you what, actually, let's get on stage and let Mike Holtzclaw introduce the next act, so I'm not talking with my mouth full.
So I got an order for 4 hot dogs all the way. All right, we'll see you soon.
All right. Mike, let me finish eating.
I've already had a couple of the team hot dogs. They are very good. It is so cool every year at this event here at the museum. There's such a huge amount of talent in our local music community, and we are so blessed that some of the most talented and creative players want to come here and work with us and play for you guys. And this next guy, he is so special. I don't know how many of you have seen Matt Thomas play before, but you are in for such a treat. So we're so thrilled that he is here tonight. You guys, I'm just going to turn it over to Matt Thomas.
Is everybody having a wonderful evening so far? Look at all these beautiful faces. So they said, no royalty music. We gotta make sure that we don't upset the man. So here's one of my favorite Tchaikovsky songs. Less monitor. There we go. So I was hearing lots of people do a little different music. Can we give another big hand for Thru Therapy? I love that Chris Jacobson is introducing a little bit of bluegrass fiddle into that. I'm a big bluegrass fan, and there's a festival out in the middle of Winfield, Kansas, that everybody just calls Winfield, but it's the Walnut Ballet Festival. And every year they have a giant competition and people from all over the world show up to compete in flat picking and finger picking, banjo, fiddle, all those old-timey instrument things. But when I went there, I had this notion in my head that bluegrass was a style of music. And I was proved wrong. Bluegrass is a community. And that was something new to experience for me. So I wrote this song in honor of that festival. This is called To Winfield and Back. for something completely different. Has anybody ever seen one of these instruments before? Wow, that was a whole lot more than I expected to hear. This thing here is called a harp guitar. It's very similar to your regular guitar. But then we got these giant bass strings. They give you the same range as having a baby grand piano. The difference is the format and layout of it. I've come across these things quite a few times in my years of playing. I know that sounds weird to say, but I came across this about 20 years ago at the Williamsburg Library. They had this thing called a harp guitar gathering. And now I have the fortunate and lovely honor this coming November, I will be hosting the harp guitar gathering again at the Williamsburg Library. So I highly encourage you guys to check that out when the time comes. But it's going to be November 2024. I'll remind you. But one of my dear friends, this guy Stephen Bennett, he's kind of the harp guitar guru of all time. He wrote this song when the Hubble telescope unveiled. And a lot of people refer to it as the Eye of God. This is the first time that we were able to see that far out into space. So he wrote a song for that telescope. Well, just a few years ago, they unveiled the James Webb telescope, which was like over 10 times more powerful. And I don't know if some of you have seen those photos that have been released, but they'll blow your mind. It's such a beautiful thing that we can see what's out there like that. So I wrote a dedication song to that telescope. This is called A Fall from the Stars.
That was awesome. Thank you, Matt Thomas, Troy Breslow. That was amazing. And thank you, Troy Breslow. And thank you, Thru Therapy. But we're not done yet. Real quick, I need a volunteer. Girl, come here, because this is for you. Oh, Adrian, I'm sorry. I gotta give it to Max, not Max, because you already have one of these.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
that's good.
We gotta keep it fresh. You got one. This is the last Tornado Bay t-shirt.
Awesome.
This is the last one that exists on that run. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Once again, your job, Peace Ambassadors. Everybody make sure before you leave, you get that packet to tell you what your mission is when you leave. Without further ado, Mike Holtzclaw, you want to tell them about this holiday story we're going to read them out with?
So it's become a tradition here that we end our holiday program with an original poem. And we are so happy to have with us tonight from Channel 13, Dan Kennedy. I am especially happy to have Dan here because he is a Mizzou grad like me. M-I-Z? Z-O-U. Thank you. So every year I write this poem, and when I finish it, I send it to Missy and I send it to Dwight Easter. And shortly thereafter, I begin getting these works of art from Dwight. And as a writer, it is the most amazing thing to see your words inspire something like this from such a talented artist. And now I get to hear Dan read them out loud to you guys. So this is a great moment for me, and it's a great moment for us. So everybody give it up for Dan Kennedy.
Your yearly gift, Dan.
Thank you, Mississippi. Let's see what we got this year. Another book. Thank you. Different story this time. It was fall at the North Pole, but you know how it goes. No reindeer in sight, except the one with red nose. The others, as usual, had overstayed their vacation, relaxing and playing at their favorite destination. You know the place, on the Chesapeake Bay, where they eat blue crabs all night and all day, where our astronauts train for their trips into space, and where Blackbeard's head found its final resting place. Yes, the reindeer were scattered all around Hampton, and there's no good next line because nothing rhymes with Hampton. With Christmas approaching, it was time to prepare, but that's not easy to do when the reindeer aren't there. Santa told Mrs. Claus, "I must go on a mission." She told him, "That's fine, but on one condition. You must bring me back what a good wife deserves. A case or two of mango preserves." So Santa and Rudolph, they got on their way, but there weren't enough reindeer to carry the sleigh. So he chartered a flight from the North Pole to Langley, and there's no good next line because nothing rhymes with Langley. The flight, it was long, so when the plane touched the ground, Santa asked the pilot where some food could be found. At Fuller's in Phoebus, he ate oysters deep fried and washed them down with a cider from Sly Clyde. If you know, you know. Then a clatter arose from out on Mellon Street. It sounded like hooves, not human feet. What was that? Santa said, and he soon found his answer. Strolling down the sidewalk was the reindeer named Dancer. "Come with me," Santa said, and he laughed, "Ho, ho, ho. That's one reindeer down and 7 to go." They went across the bridge to the fort named Monroe. For a brief time, it was home to Edgar Allan Poe. Santa looked in the casemates and he looked in the moat. The water was chilly, so he rented a boat. If a reindeer was here, he had not left a trace. Then from the corner of his eye, Santa spied Makerspace. Sure enough, there was Dasher, who prepared for the winter, making lots of new toys on a 3D printer. "Come along," Santa said, "you must join me and Dancer." Now where in the world will we ever find Prancer? To the Hampton U campus they headed next. When he was there, Santa sent Dr. Harvey a text. "I know you're retired, but I have a question. I'm looking for reindeer. Do you have a suggestion?" The emeritus boss, he replied right away, "I saw one by the football field yesterday. The marching force band was performing and dancing, and yes, right there with them, Prancer was prancing." "Let's go," Santa called to his ungulate pal. "There's still 5 more reindeer we have to corral." A man overheard this, and he grabbed Santa's arm. He said, "You'll find reindeer at the Bluebird Gap Farm." So the group headed over to Pine Chapel Road, past the duck pond, and the arboretum they strode. They petted a piglet and a horse in a stable. They fed goats and chickens from a picnic table. Then they found Vixen chasing a group of peacocks, which makes sense for a reindeer named after a fox. "We're halfway done," Santa said to a goose. 4 reindeer found, 4 still on the loose. At Peninsula Town Center, Santa did mumble as he wolfed down a couple of cookies from Crumble. "Where would I look for a reindeer with attitude?" Someone said, "I just saw one at Latitude." Now, what could a reindeer do on a rock wall? The answer, it turns out, is try not to fall. Donner was trying without much success. With 4 hooves and no hands, his form was a mess. "Give it up," muttered Santa, his expression quite droll. "It's time for all of us to head back to the North Pole." A lady told Santa, "There's another one near. You'll find it just a few miles from here. It's easy to get there, not a catastrophe, on Settlers Landing," which has no apostrophe. After they got to the Air and Space Science Center, Santa got a group discount with his reindeer to enter. If you're looking for a comet, this is the place, a museum dedicated to the study of space. Kris Kringle breathed a sigh, the task near its climax, as he waved to Comet, watching a movie in IMAX. Santa said, "Comet, let's be on our way. We need 2 more reindeer to fly with my sleigh." Comet knew just where to go on this mission, to the pier at Buckrow where Cupid was fishing. He had a bucket of flounder and croaker and trout as he sipped from a can of St. George oyster stout. But it was time to trade in one pole for another, so he gave his fishing gear to a girl and her brother. The reindeer were ready to go, but wait, Santa counted just 7, and he'd come to find 8. Santa called out, "There's no time for convincing. Behave, get in line, and help me find Blitzen." Santa pulled out his cell phone and he called Mayor Tuck. On his first try, he hit the wrong contact and called Donald Duck. The mayor said Blitzen was at home in Old Wythe, watching an old football game with some friends and Coach Smith. It was Hampton and Phoebus from the fall of '94. The Crabbers beat the Phantoms with an overtime score. When Blitzen emerged, Santa had finished his task, but he scratched at his head with a question to ask. "How in the world will we get out of town? I can't get all these reindeer on the plane we flew down. A boat takes too long, trains don't go that far, and with Santa's driving record, he can't rent a car." Then Rudolph looked up, and with a wink of an eye, he said, "You've forgotten that reindeer can fly. I know what you're thinking, we don't have a sleigh, but we need to get home, so we'll find a way." Then a light bulb went on over Santa's old noggin. "I've got an idea, and it's not a toboggan." They hiked across town to the Hampton Yacht Club. He asked for a boat, not just any old tub, one that's just the right size, so he pulled by his troop, and from a sailor he borrowed a 20-foot sloop. He called out, "Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer." You know all the names, you don't have to answer. And we heard him exclaim as he rose above Hampton, "I don't know what to say because nothing rhymes with Hampton."
All right, but thank you so much, and we're all a part of tomorrow. And if they could do it in 1968, they can do it today. We can do it today.
When you go home tonight, take a good look at the moon. Think about what it stands for.
Think about everyone. It's about inclusivity. That's why Pluto is here. Did anybody notice that? I know it's a dwarf planet. I might play rock and roll, but I'm not ignorant. Pluto, we are so inclusive in Hampton, we invited Pluto tonight.
darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And from the crew of Apollo 8, we close with good night, good luck, a Merry Christmas, and God bless all of you